Give me marine science, but make it black. Facing racism left and right. Tired of being the only black person in the room. I need to be the change I want to see.
Welcome back to 5 years of BIMS Waves of Change. This is episode 2 from hashtag to nonprofit. And of course, it's your girl, Dr. T, founder and CEO of Black and Marine Science. So I put on our next shirt. This was the next shirt that we made, Marine Science is Lit. And really, once we decided to found a nonprofit, I knew that you have to keep the energy. You know, like, you don't got to be perfect, but you have to be passionate. And so while we were in our early stages, there was a lot of this stuff going on behind the scenes, y'all. Reading is fundamental, okay? Because when we were filling out the 501c3 paperwork, trying to write our first and, early grants, I really saw why there is a huge barrier and why we don't see a lot of folks having nonprofits, running these organizations, getting access to these huge grants that are available, but they are just behind so many things. So I really wanted to put, a team together through our board of directors, through our early volunteers and marine scientists of saying, hey, let's focus on what we know how to do. And that's actually reading. They try to pretend that we can't read, but a lot of the folks who were at the beginning of BIMS, PhD level scientists, wrote grants, wrote dissertations. So this was actually our skill set in our strong suit. So we really put a huge effort of making an organization that could stand alone and withstand the test of time. And so while we were doing all these things on the background of like working with lawyers, I've talked to so many lawyers. Thanks to partners, we got a lot of that stuff pro bono because we had donations, but we didn't have money to be paying lawyers. So we got pro bono support to file our 501c3. We had early partnerships where folks were just helping us to write grants, helping us to put these things together. And then on the front end, we started this campaign, Marine Science is Lit. Period. That was it, because we really wanted to change the stigma about marine science in general. It's like, yeah, we're Black and marine science, but okay, when we look at the lack of diversity in marine science and why it is so low, it's because honestly, marine science can be seen as lame. You got a bunch of folks walking around with their little Hawaiian shirts and flip flops, and look, and it's not seen as something like, oh, that we as Black folks do. And so we wanted to just really change how how people saw marine science in general. And I remember saying, well, marine science is lit. I love my job. Like, we get paid to go scuba diving. We get paid to work at the beach. We get paid to answer questions. Why all the little Black kids should want to do this job. It shouldn't be, oh, because we don't swim, we can't be in marine science. And so this was our first campaign. And I would say this took us from Black Marine Science Week to that full nonprofit organization that was honestly working to change the game and ultimately the face of marine science itself. And that success always comes with goods and bads, because we saw a lot of people wanting to partner. We saw a lot of people wanting to be involved, to volunteer. But what that also led to people who just wanting to say that they were doing something, wanting to partner. At the same time, when we were building up marine science, we saw a lot of what they call DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. And there was a whole bunch of money. Y'all. So people who had actively never even looked at Black people, had people as partners, all of a sudden wanted to partner. Money was over here, money was over there, money was over there, and they was knocking. And so that's when I really knew that we had to formalize to be able to even grow, to have our own accountant, our own financial management team. So we weren't just being used to get grants for these other folks who didn't really care about our communities. But for the first time, we were able to write a multi-million-dollar grant and get our own money and be able to do the work where we wanted it. So it was like, y'all can read, y'all can write, and y'all can collect grants. And the answer was absolutely yes, we can. And what? That's the T.